Hillsdale and Branch, Jackson, gonna go on at the same time, do you know?
We were all doing it on Monday. A couple of them have decided to put theirs on tomorrow or Saturday. But for the most part, they'll all be on Monday for the surrounding areas.
Okay.
Is there a reason why we didn't go earlier?
We didn't really see much thawing on the roads yet. And by what Thawcaster was predicting. That's why we didn't go any sooner.
And the signs will be out by Monday?
We don't put signs out anymore.
Oh.
That's not a requirement,
Really?
as long as it's posted on, I think it's the MDOT website.
I saw a map of all the.
Yeah, there's a map of the whole state that tells when frost laws are going on of each county.
I had several farmers call complaining about the ox cart permits.
Yeah. The gravel roads, we understand that we are getting calls about them being muddy. There's not a whole lot we can do with them right now with the frost going out. The spots that we are getting calls about, we check them, and if we need to put stone in them to make them passable, we will put stone in them. But until the frost gets out to where it can start to firm up and dry up, there's not a whole lot we can do with them.
So with respect to, is there any new developments or new word on the bridge on Egypt Road?
No. Nope. I don't have any real changes in any of that type of stuff. We did have the, pre-con meeting for Camden Road,
Okay,
for,
the 2 miles.
the 2 mile from Pittsburgh Road to Trip.
Yeah.
We had that pre-con meeting and everything's set up there to go.
So do you believe that they will start relatively soon after the frost goes out, or they have to be done by what, some date in mid to late June?
I think it's June
20th.
20th was the end of it, and they were gonna start. I don't have that paperwork.
I just know the
with
end
me.
date.
Yeah, I don't have that paperwork with me from that, but, they didn't see any problem with being done by then.
Anybody else have any questions for Kevin?
I did have one person that lives on 12 asked me how they get the tree cut. That's supposed to be part of the safety grant, but the MDOT never marked the tree.
Yeah, that whole tree cutting thing was, MDOT had
I told her,
a project, safety project for that, and
I told her to go talk to the MDOT official that drove the pickup.
we had nothing to do with that. That was all through the state, contracted out, and
And that would be 12 from Jonesville
Jonesville to
to
Squires Road.
Squires Road, right?
And they are on their way back towards Jonesville now. They've made it towards Squires Road and are headed back east.
So with the frost coming out of the ground, they're not gonna have trouble cutting trees?
That's not gonna, affect me because it's a state road, I guess.
There's no frost on the street.
Isn't that due to the thickness of the road?
Well, again, we just stated, we're not cutting trees here in the county because of the weather, the roadsides are too wiggly or whatever you wanna say. So how can the state people still be
I
cutting
guess
trees? That's the
let
question.
me rephrase
Thank you.
that to where
Yes,
it's not that we are not cutting any trees. We're not going out on our deburn jobs and basically clear cutting and opening them up. The trees that people have requested be cut we'll still cut them as long as it's not gonna tear their yard up and make a muddy mess.
Right.
If it's on a blacktop road where we can do it and not make a mess, we'll still cut the trees. What I meant was we're just not going out, like, right now we've been working on, Somerset Road, which is a gravel road. So we're not gonna go out there with the skid steer and start cutting trees and moving them and just making a muddy mess of it.
There's a MDOT construction tech with the cutters on US 12. So they can either allow them to work or tell them they gotta get off the job.
Thanks for the clarification.
Okay, anybody else have any old business to bring before the board? Okay, we move on to new business. First item here on the agenda is the adoption of this, county resolution 25-001. So I think everybody has that in their packet.
That's so moved.
Have support?
Or,
Okay, so the purpose of this resolution is to authorize the manager to, e-sign the title sheet for our annual certified mileage report. Said electronic signature will replace the signature of our board chairman. So, the motion was made by Commissioner Carney and supported by Kathy. Any discussion or questions?
I need to do a roll call.
Yes, you do. So, okay, Katie, proceed with the roll call.
Mike Carney,
Yes.
Gary Leiniger,
Yes.
Kathy Schmidt,
yes,
and Mark Klein.
Yes,
It is approved. And then the next item is to approve the 2025 certified mileage maps. And it appears like primary and local roads, there's no changes. There are some changes on the urban mileage.
can Kevin explain those changes on the urban mileage?
I believe that was, the roads that are right around the city.
So does that change the jurisdiction of the roads? Because again, primary, we went from 9.14 to 8.19, which is a decrease of almost a mile. And on the locals, we went from 21.48 down to 15.73, so that was a decrease of 0.75. So does that mean that the urban centers, because again, I don't know if it's the city of Hillsdale or city of Jonesville, are they then taking over that road mileage and the townships don't have to come up with their share? They're not making contracts on those roads anymore?
I'm not sure on that, that would, Heather did the road thing on the mileages. But I do know that it was like, I think they said the streets at the lake at Prairie Ponds, Bridge Road, I think now falls in under the urban at Marcus Drive.
So what I'm hearing is it's not really changing the jurisdiction
Correct.
of the
Right.
roads, it's the classification.
Right,
Because I do know we've been talking about this urban grant
yes,
item that we work in conjunction with those urban areas.
yes.
Alright.
And that's the way I understood it was, it doesn't change who takes care of them or anything, it just falls under that classification to where when they divide up the urban rural money or whatever it is, those roads can qualify.
Alright, And, Bob could verify that either through an email
Yes,
or at the next meeting or something, to just
yes.
make sure that that's the right understanding of this. Okay.
So do we have a motion to approve this 2025
So moved.
mileage? Okay,
Or,
so I have a motion from Mark and support from Mike to approve the changes on the 2025 certified mileage maps. Any further discussion or questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. It is approved. And now then we have several contracts with local townships for work to do in 2025.
you just have those?
Yeah, I have them here.
We can do a motion to do them all at once, correct?
Yep, we can do that.
So moved.
Or,
To approve the
So I-
2025 township contracts.
So I have a motion from Mark and support from Mike to approve the 2025 contracts that are in front of us. So we have Amboy Township for road stabilization. Total estimated cost $34,800. Fayette Township road stabilization, total estimated cost $41,400. Fayette Township spot gravel patch, total cost $74,250. Hillsdale Township road stabilization, $4,800. Hillsdale Township spot gravel patch, $24,750. And township share amounts on each one of these, they will be listed here on this sheet that you're all going to be signing. So, any questions or discussions on the contract?
I guess I'm looking at the Fayette Township spot gravel patch, various roads. On the contract, they say their share is 22,500, and on here it says 33,750.
They have, and let's see,
They are asking for 3 applications, is that?
No, we're talking the gravel patch.
Oh, gravel patch, okay.
okay. It's, there's a mistake,
Okay.
cause we ran short. Didn't catch it, when it got recorded on there, it got looked at the wrong line.
Yeah.
Of the, so they only asked for 1,500 tons, which the total cost is 49,500, which the township share would be 22,500.
Okay.
Which is on the contracts that you will be signing.
What's the county use?
The county's, township, ours is 27,000 for the county's cost.
The total cost is $49,500.
Yes.
They just picked up the wrong line.
Yeah, the wrong line got
I
it.
see that.
So the contract's correct, it's just.
Yeah,
The wrong line got
Yep,
picked
yep,
up.
yep.
No,
So that'll be fixed in the minutes, or however you guys.
Yes, it'll be
Yep,
fixed.
yep. Okay, perfect.
And then it will be fixed when it gets posted on the website for the agenda.
okay, if there's no further questions or comments, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor of the motion to approve these township contracts, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion is approved.
I do have a question on the Fayette Township, contract for road stabilization. they probably checked the wrong boxes, cause they picked all three, but of course, we only picked up the third one. I don't know, we don't need any clarification on that.
They want 3 applications.
Correct.
So that's probably why they checked all 3.
Correct.
They could've just checked the one box
The
that they
third
chose.
one, yeah. So, just so, if anybody sees this contract, we're not charging them all 3 items, we're just
No.
charging them the third, which is what was in our minutes.
Correct.
But I think we've had that conversation before, but anyway. Alright, we'll get the sign.
I feel really bad that I'm not there to sign them.
I bet you do.
I can almost feel the tears running.
Yeah, actually, it's wet.
Okay, yeah,
So,
don't remind us.
the 2.
So I'm gonna hang up now because you've got to sign them, it's probably your turn.
Yeah, we're close to the finish line.
Excuse me.
Thanks, everybody.
You're welcome,
Well,
thank you.
Goodbye.
Come over here or with you?
These are all signed.
We're all signed, you want that on that?
Yeah.
You want that all together? You want that over there? No, we've got one more to be signing.
Anybody else have any new business to bring before the board? Okay, we'll go back to public comments. Anybody wanna make another public comment? Go ahead,
Thanks for the work. You know, all this contract for these road boards, townships and stuff. It's what makes food on all of our plates. You guys making these decisions is very important. Thank you. My township is one of the few townships, Jefferson, that has participated this year. Supposedly, they're participating in some work. I'm kinda looking forward to that, like the outcome of it too, as a resident. So, thank you guys. You know, it's a thankless job and I realize that. I've sat across the table enough to know that it's not easy. You know, even these guys doing their job, it's not easy. You know, Mother Nature's cruel to our road system, so I gotta get back and beat that stuff back in shape. So.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Alright,
Thank you.
you guys all set?
Anybody else? Don?
Yeah, I just want to speak a little bit just about the grievances and arbitration. I know we spent a lot of time in arbitrations. We spent tens of they spent tens of thousands of taxpayers' money on arbitrations. But the problem is they don't want to give the workers a decent raise. You know, the attorney fees, the court reporter, arbitration fees, it all adds up. I want to say on a one positive note. In the last month and a half, the manager and us was able to settle at least 5 grievances. All was for overtime call-in. So that saved the taxpayers quite a lot of money. I know we won some grievances, we lost some, but we just want to let the board know about these issues because don't believe you ever get to hear both sides of the story. Hopefully we can start trying to work in harmony. Last week at the ESTA meeting, trying to take benefits away because of ESTA policies, that meeting sure didn't help matters. We got the guys up in a big uproar, but hopefully we can get the contract settled so we don't have to start coming back to all the meetings again. It was nice and quiet for a while for you, but we appreciate it.
Thanks
Thank
for coming.
Okay. I just wanted to touch base, kind of go back to this policy. There's a couple other comments that I didn't get to in the first one. On the policy, I just wanted to make you guys aware that this did go to arbitration.
Are
I
you
guess-
speaking on the drug policy?
Yes, sorry, the drug policy, yes. This did go, I don't know if you guys are aware, it did go to arbitration. My point is, you know, knowing that this is obviously a constitutional violation of the law on searches and seizures, this employer's, claim that this grievance still had no merit. And then, and then it was moved to arbitration. And you guys have an attorney that represents you at arbitration. And not once between the time of the arbitration, the waiting period for arbitration between when this grievance was denied and that arbitration took place, did your attorney tell you guys that, hey, you're out of bounds here, and save you the cost of an arbitration? Not once, did he? Not that I'm aware of, because we went to arbitration. So we got into arbitration. That arbitration took 30 minutes. That was the shortest arbitration we've ever had, because we got in that arbitration and there was all of a sudden this come to Jesus moment where it was, oh, you guys are outside your scope of authority on this. It's got to be taken out. You guys can't do this. They're right. Why wasn't your attorney telling you guys this before you went to arbitration, before it cost you thousands of dollars to double down and try to defend something that's illegal? Not only that, the last contract that, you know, the sentiment that they were talking about as far as the contract, the last contract took 6 months and a resignation from the manager to get settled. And who ultimately settled that contract? The board and the union together. That's who settled that contract, not a manager. It took 6 months and a resignation from the manager to get a contract settled last time. And more to Dave's sentiment, I just wanted to add on that as far as, you know, he kind of is getting the impression or the feeling that your lawyer is being an obstructionist in these negotiations. And he's not the only one that feels that way. There's a lot of dragging the feet going on. There's a lot of just ridiculous back and forth as far as offers, and I don't know, I just don't think the bargaining is going in good faith as it should, right? I don't know, I think you guys got a lot to think about, and I think you guys need to have a conversation with the manager and your attorney and figure out what's going on and why he's not representing you guys. And if you could, remind Bob that he's a manager, not a sheriff. Thank you. That's all I got.
Okay, thank you. Dave?
In closing, I just got a short comment. Many of us over there have 20 plus, some even have 35 years in. And I personally have went through many negotiations, many contracts, and we've been able to reach agreements. Many of the people are going to be here 15, 20 years. Bob's going to be here 2 years. And like I showed you, they want to change the whole contract. We're not going to throw away 25 years of negotiations for anybody. Once you give it up, it's done.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? All right, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Support.
A motion from Mike and support from Mark to adjourn the meeting. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We stand adjourned.